This is the first time I'm using Claude, and I thought I would just really literally just start in the beginning. The first thing Claude asked me to do was, "Who are you?" and tell me what you want me to call you. I just said Dr. Mina. Mina probably would have been fine, but let's see what it does. Now it's saying, "What are you into, Dr. Mina?" Pick three topics. Now I'm into a whole lot of things, and I figure I love to learn and study. I like to create. I do like coding and developing, but we won't look at that from this perspective. And I like to design. Those are the fun things. Coding, I just do if I need to. So, all set. Where should we start? Brainstorm creative concepts, help me identify my creative style, plan milestones for a creative project. Hmm, brainstorm creative projects. And you know what? I don't even really know if that is what I want to do. I have my own topic. I want to use voice mode and see what happens. I would love for you to find me the data for the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, the English Language Arts and Mathematics data. Can you do that for me?
I'll search for that California assessment data for you. Right. So the main place to access the actual data is the California Department of Education's CEAASPP results website, which you can find at, say, CAASPP-LPAC.ets.org. They also have a data summary and cross-tabulations tool on the CDE website that lets you download the statewide CAASPP data for English language arts and mathematics, broken down by student groups. Would you like me to find a more specific link to those downloadable data sets?
Yes, can you do that for me?
Perfect, I found it for you. The link is cde.ca.gov/ta/tg/ca/KASPP 2025 data summary.asp. That page has the downloadable statewide CAASPP 2025 data summary with cross tabulations for English language arts and mathematics, broken down by student groups.
Will you give me the link so that I can just click on it?
I appreciate that, Dr. Mina. But since I'm
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull the link that you already have and I'm going to stop talking to you. So I'm going to go up here and see if the website that it gave me is correct. So I'm going to, and since I'm in here, I'm going to just put it and grab that website. So cast results. It does give me the results. This is perfect. Why am I talking about it? I like to integrate the fact that the 2026 cast testing is happening right now in many school districts around the state in California. So this is very relevant to this time, especially if you're interested in looking at data. Now, what I want to do is see if it will do something that I liked doing with ChatGPT. So I'm going to go over here and grab a screenshot of, let's see if I can grab this, just of the area claims and see what happens. I'm going to paste it right in. Let's just go find it, add photos or files. I know it went to my desktop, very last one. There it is. Great. Now, I wish that, one thing I wish that it had was I wish that it had the ability for me actually to talk to it. So I'm going to say, look, look at this data and see if you can organize it in a line graph. I will give more information after you give it a go. Let's see what happens. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I would actually prefer it to separate the above, near, and below for each area claim, meaning putting all the aboves in one line graph, all the near, and then all of the below in a line graph. But I'm not sure if it'll actually do that. But you can see that it's looking at the above standard, near standard, and below standard, and it's looking at each of the area claims. So what is that? While it's doing that, so you have concepts and procedures, problem solving and modeling and data analysis, and you have communicating and reasoning. And you can use any data set, I'm sure, but it did do that for me. So it's putting them all in a line graph, which probably is good to look at. So you can see in concepts and procedures that this is the above line. this is the near and this is the above down here. So we have a lot of students that are in the near in grade 3, and then we start to get to a lot in math and below standard by the time they get to 11th grade. So now I'm going to challenge Claude. I really like what you did, but I'd like you to change the scale so that I can see the lines a little better and keep them where you separate it by claim. Then the next challenge I'd like you to do is to take the above, near, and below standard and take just the above for concepts and procedures, problem solving and modeling and data analysis, and communicating and reasoning, and put all of the above in one line graph. And then do the same for each claim for near and below. So that would be a total of 6 graphs. And really be aware or cognizant of the distance between the percentages, because I like to see how wide they are. So sometimes you'll have to narrow the interval between percentages. Do you understand? Now, I have already done this in ChatGPT, but I am very curious what it will do here. So it did it here. Okay, I don't see the graphs. So it said it did it. It says, there you go. I've broken it down into line charts, one for each math area from your screenshot. Okay, but that's not what I wanted. It's really not what I wanted. So what I'm actually hoping for is I want Claude to do exactly what ChatGPT did. Now, know that I have not been in Claude, I want to call it Cloud so bad. Claude does not know and has not been trained by me. So if I were to show you what I did in ChatGPT, for example, it looks very, very different. So, for example, you can see that what I wanted was I want just the above in one, and then I wanted it to be color coded by the actual claim. So now I just gave Claude the 3 examples. Here is what I would like you to do. Make them like this. Now, I don't know if it will, because it clearly did this, which is beautiful, but I really wanted to separate it. And these are great reference charts. So now I'm training it to do what I want to do in the future, because I like to do this with a lot of different districts in the state of California just to see what the trend is. Because what I am finding is that most students have trouble with communicating and reasoning. And we can see that because we have a large number of students that are in the near area, not very many in the above standard, and not many in the below. That doesn't mean we shouldn't focus on those students, but we do know that communicating and reasoning, meaning thinking through the math and navigating the problem solving process, and using the avenues of thinking, that is difficult. So here, it did it. It did it, and it did it beautifully. So this is exactly what I was hoping for. Now, I don't know if I can even download it, but I can at least screenshot it. So this is fantastic. And I can hover over it here, and it does it. And I actually like these a little bit more than I do the ones on ChatGPT, except for the fact that I would appreciate maybe using just 60 here, and maybe 30 is okay. But I guess the values in the interval scale is okay, because we do have this large jump here for concepts and procedures in 11th grade, which is something to be said and to talk about. Now, it is my hope that you find some value in this. If you like to look at data, using Claude or using any generative AI is very helpful. And sometimes it's going to take you some time to train it. Clearly, I'm going to have to train Claude, and I'm going to work on that. But I've learned a lesson that if you take your time, it'll actually do something for you. And if you're not in generative AI, like I haven't been in Claude very often, get into it. Don't be afraid of it. And yes, you can stick to ChatGPT, but some of the different generative AI platforms, like Gemini as well, they do something slightly differently depending on what your need is. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me how you're using generative AI.